Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. It's about 4:30 a.m. Having to leave out of here for work here in just a few minutes and trying to get woke up. Sunday, I read a little bit out of the book of James, and I thought I would just start here, read a couple passages for myself, and just allow it to kind of go in and do what it does to me, do a little surgery and correct me where needed, to retrain my mind a little bit where hopefully my actions will follow today. So I'm going to start reading in chapter 2, and this is James, and he's talking about faith without works being dead. And then I'm going to skip over to a portion in chapter 3. So just follow along with me if you would. It says, "Don't you remember that our ancestor Abraham was shown to be right with God by his actions when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see, his faith and his actions worked together. His actions made his faith complete. And so it happened, just as the scriptures say, Abraham believed God, and God counted him as righteous because of his faith. So you see, we are shown to be right with God by what we do, not faith alone." Rahab the prostitute is another example. She was shown to be right with God by her actions, and she hid those messengers and sent them safely away by a different road. Just as the body is dead without breath, so also faith is dead without good works. I think we can sometimes get mixed up when it comes to doing things for the reason of trying to be good enough versus doing right because it's what's right. Doing what is good because we're instructed in what is good and what is evil. I struggle with this, and that's why I'm up this morning reading, because to be honest with you, I don't want to leave this world like I am right now. I want to be different. I am way different than when I started this path, but there's things about me that still really trouble me and bother me and that I want changed. So I'm just at least refusing to give up on the path, the path of being different, being like Christ, being changed. I at least have hope because I've seen so many areas of my life changed that the ones that still really trouble me are somewhere in the future gonna be made different. So I'm going to continue reading, jumping over just a little bit into chapter 3. It says, "If you're wise and understand God's ways, prove it by living an honorable life, doing good works, with the humility that comes from wisdom. But if you're bitterly jealous and there's selfish ambition in your heart, don't cover up the truth with boasting and lying. For jealousy and selfishness are not God's kind of wisdom." This is important. I underline this next line. "Such things are earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For wherever there's jealousy and selfish ambition, there you will find every other disorder of every kind. But the wisdom from above is first of all pure. It is also peace-loving, gentle at all times, and willing to yield to others. It's full of mercy and good deeds. It shows no favoritism and is always sincere. And those who are peacemakers will plant seeds of peace and reap a harvest of righteousness." The word righteousness, when I looked it up, I've wrote it in my Bible here. It means approval of God. Right standing, that's another word for it. We're in right standing with God. That's good right there, because it helps us self-examine ourselves. Sit down every day and see if there were times in our day or in our week where selfish ambition was rising up in us. The boasting, lying, just being jealous. You know, for the motocross racers out there, we can go to the racetrack and we can see the success of others, maybe versus not having the kind of success ourselves that we want. And we can. I know for me, my heart tries to go there, and I have to correct myself. That's why I was talking Sunday about we have to stop and ask ourselves, why are we really here? Are we here to, for me, to provide, a good spot for my kids to flourish in something that they're reasonably good at, that they love, that's fun, that puts them in a place to get them outdoors, involved in just sports, to travel as a family. I know it's very expensive, but for us, I have to ask, what else would I be doing? They haven't shown any interest in any other sport that we've discovered other than this one, and it's just something I'm willing to do for them. Jonah has Asperger's. He has a form of autism, and it shows up a lot at home in the day with school and teaching, and it's very tough. So for me to see days where he's good at something and not awkward, and there's nothing I won't pay and do to give him that environment. And for Olivia, it's something really cool for her that she can do that not every kid can do, and that's ride a quad the way that she does. Even with severe asthma, she does pretty good, man. If I look at what she does out there and realize that I can't do what she does. She's a 14-year-old girl, and her dad cannot do the things that she does. So it's quite impressive. And so when our results don't measure up against every other kid out there, I still have to realize that is not the reason I'm there. That would be me making it about me and not about them. It's a good place for me to demonstrate not being jealous, not being angry, not letting anger get the best of me. And I'm sure they see my battle and wrestle with it, but me sitting down with my Bible in the morning isn't me being a hypocrite. It's me wanting some self-correction, me wanting some self-control in my life, me wanting to remind myself about what is right and what is wrong in God's eyes and not in my own eyes. The book of Proverbs tells us there's a way that seems right to man, but it's a way that leads to death. It doesn't lead to life. Jesus paved the way to everlasting life. It's a narrow road, and few take it, few choose it. It is a road. It is a highlighted path back to the Father that we have to follow. We see it as religion sometimes. We see it as praying prayers to go to heaven, just saying we believe in God. But James says believing has to be followed with actions. So, we had Moto Church at the races this past Friday, and I talked about how we could be a group of people, even in that race community, that helps each other to walk with Christ. Knowing that many of us are pretty jacked up like I am, but I have a desire to follow the Lord. So let's do it together. Let's help each other. Let's encourage each other. So don't beat each other up. Let's let the jealousy go. The kids can compete on the track with us parents not having all the issues we have, and then God likeness will trickle down to our children. But anyway, I'm sure you can apply that in any area of your life. I love you guys. Have a good Wednesday. See you soon. Not sure what day, but see you soon.